So up next I have the Airfix 1/72nd scale Curtiss Hawk 81A2. What I'd like to do is build this to look like the plane that John Belushi flew in the movie 1941. So I'll be using those colors. This is the decal sheet that comes with it. I'll probably just be using the shark's mouth and the instrument gauges for the cockpit. Most of these will not apply. I'll have to make my own decals for the markings on the plane that John Belushi flew. The instructions are all in one page, one sheet rather, and pretty straightforward. And the cockpit and the pilot go on the lower part of the wing and then push up into the fuselage from the bottom. Comes with a pilot, so I always enjoy doing those, even though they're fairly small. And I'll probably be doing it with the landing gear down and just be sitting on the shelf. It's two sprues molded in a kind of a bluish gray, light bluish gray. A quick look at those here, and then I'll be off to wash those off and get them started. So stay tuned and see if I can pull this off. Well, I've made some good progress on this build. I've got the airplane all pretty much put together, ready for primer. I put some wood filler that I used to fill the seams here where the wings attach to the fuselage. And I'm going to paint this front cowl cover piece separately, so I've taped that off so I can add the propeller later. And what I do normally is I tape over the canopy and then I've tacked it in place just to protect the cockpit from the overspray, and I'll do the canopy separately later. Again, this is the Curtiss Hawk Airfix kit, and I wanted to paint that up, and figured I'd have to print my own decals off to make it look like the one in the movie 1941. And then I saw Jeff's video for the plane he's doing for the Pearl Harbor build, and I went out and found one nearby here at a good price, the Curtiss Warhawk. So this is actually the look of the plane that I'm trying to build. It just has a couple more of these roundels on it, so I'll print off a couple of those just to add those. It's the one in the movie has 6, and this kit has 4. So what I've done is I've taken it's essentially the same kit. So I've taken the bag of parts out of this box and put it in the Hawk box, and I'll build that separately later, and I'll carry on with this build. So now I'm off to the paint booth to get this into primer, and then I'll mix up some craft paints to put the color coat on. Well, I'm back from the paint booth, and I painted the whole plane with a light gray Vallejo primer. Then I painted the bottom part of the plane here with this Craftsmart gray, and then went over it all with the Tamiya black panel line. Next, I'll mix up some of this craft paint, the evergreen and the olive green. I'm going to mix them together to get the color I want for the top of the plane. Stay tuned. Well, I thought that the olive green was just a little too much green compared to the box art and the pictures I've seen, so I added a few drops of this folk art craft paint in the dark brown to the olive green and mixed it with some Future to thin it, and airbrushed it on, and I think I've got the color that I want for the plane. I taped off the bottom part so it'll still be the light gray, and I got the nose cone and the piece for the front of the plane there, so that'll go together soon, and we're almost there. Get the decals on, and we're almost done.
Want to help your country? Yeah, you out there. You in the audience. Why don't you enlist? Today. Right now.